Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and welcome to your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases for Saturday the 10th of August for all Games Workshop and 412 products. It's very windy here today in Norfolk, so please bear with me. I'd like to start off the video by saying thank you to all of the new subscribers that have joined over the past week or two. If you like the channel and you like the content, it really helps the channel out if you like the video, leave a comment and subscribe, of course. If you'd like to support the channel financially, I do have a Patreon page as well, and that really helps the channel out, try and cover all of the new releases. Furthermore, if you can't do it that way, you can support the channel by buying all of your Warhammer and 40k goodies from Element Games. Just use the channel's affiliate link in the description, and then they will know that I've told you about them. And you can save 15 to 25%. I'd seriously recommend having a look at some of the new Space Marine releases on here. I mean, you get £5 off the new Codex, £5 off Tigurius, and if you order over £80, you get free UK delivery. If not, you do have to pay for delivery, but it's same day dispatch and it's first class, so you do get these models and products very quickly, and you can earn element crystals, which are actually one of the best reward kind of point systems going, because then you can use those element crystals for money off your future purchases too. Anyway, let's jump on over to the Warhammer community. There have been many articles this week about the new Space Marines. I'm going to give you my opinions and things on some of them, but if we just go from, I say it last weekend because I did do the video on the Tuesday night ready for the Wednesday. So the news section of this video is going to be a lot more condensed. It's going to be shorter. I did talk about the preview of the Adeptus Astartes, or just Codex Space Marines. You've got this Indomitus edition. We'll go through the pricing of that in a moment in the pre-orders. You've got the Codex Space Marines digital edition, the data cards and the supplements as well, along with the dice and the special characters and the Lieutenant and the White Scars Promotional upgrade set. Furthermore, towards the sort of end of the week, you had Space Marines unit previews articles. So they looked at the Incursor squad. These look pretty cool. It says even Eldar Rangers will soon learn to fear Incursors because their chameleon cloaks offer no protection against them. They've got these smoke grenades. You've also got this haywire mine. D3 mortal wounds, or D3+1 if it's a vehicle. It's basically an area denial sort of weapon. The Oculus bolt carbines which they're carrying, they rob the enemy of cover, and they've got multi-spectrum arrays that prevent them suffering any negative modifiers when using ranged weapons. So they really are kind of Vanguard, but for the next level, in my opinion. They can also have these paired combat blades, whereas on modified hit rolls of 6s, you get one additional hit. That's pretty good. Then the Impulsor, there's a look at that. It can carry 6 models, 6 Primaris Space Marines. It's an assault vehicle, so if the model didn't advance, then embarked units can disembark, but then you can't charge them anyway. And also you can equip this shield dome. I don't know whether we've seen the shield dome yet, maybe we'll see it towards next week. But if you give it a shield dome, you get 4+ invulnerable save. Instead of the shield dome though, you can give it an Iron Hail Sky Talon array, which is a solid anti-air firepower option, or a Bellicatus missile array, and you get a choice of 3 missile warheads: Frag, Crack and Icarus. And then finally you can equip it with an orbital comms array. So I think if they price this model at £40 or £45, you do actually have a lot of options, but I'm wondering maybe it's too many options. I mean, I understand their reasoning behind sort of an assault vehicle, more of a transport focused vehicle for Primaris, but in a way I think players just wanted that. by adding all of these extra weapon systems, comms arrays, shield domes, all these kind of extra things bumps up that price and justifies the £40–45. A bit like the Scorpius tank for Mechanicus. That is £45. It's the same price as a Land Raider cost recently. Land Raider's now £50. But having more options and having a kit that you can have different variants in does justify the higher price cost. I think if they had just an assault vehicle for Primaris for £30, I think that would be alright. But we'll see when the pre-orders come out and the pricing gets announced next week. Then you've got this Invicta Tactical Warsuit. In my opinion, the weakest looking model out of all the lineup. I don't think I'm the only one. There's been a lot of noise on the internet about this model, about the fact that the centre of mass, where you're most likely to hit it, has this squidgy Primaris Space Marine in there. The fact that it can pick up this heavy bolter from its side hip rather than it just being mounted on its arms to begin with. That's cool in a way because it means it can use the fist as well, but why not just mount the heavy bolter next to the fist? But then the rules themselves, they have made it pretty good. I mean, the Incendium Cannon, which I don't know whether we've seen, or the Twin Iron Hail Autocannon, which is this. So they have actually called it an autocannon, even though it does look a bit more like a heavy stubber. This to me though just isn't 40k at all. This is more like them moving into sort of James Cameron Avatar kind of, you know, big mech, and then a person in there using the vehicle to hold a sort of heavy weapon. And the fact that he's not wearing a helmet as well is just even better. Anyway, he basically can use it as a heavy sidearm. Then you've got the Infiltrator Squad, which I think are just what we've had before from the Vanguard set. They now have this Infiltrator Comms array. The Eliminator Squad, we haven't seen the last Fusils, because I don't think these are the last Fusils. I think these are just the Bolt Sniper Rifles. The ammo profiles have been bumped up to strength 5 now as well, and they can target characters, so these are your ultimate long range character killers now. You have a few squads of these and a Vindica Assassin, and your opponent is going to worry that they brought their characters along for the ride, unless they're sort of hidden and they can deep strike or something like that. The Eliminator Sergeant can also have this guided aim ability, a bit like Devastators, in which he forgoes his shooting to add 1 to the wound rolls. Pretty good. And then you've got the non-codex chapters included. So Blood Angels, Space Wolves and Dark Angels now get access to all of the other, I say new units, the units that were that have just been announced, and also the new units that were in the Shadow Spear box set with the full data sheets. I think there's 76 data sheets. Previous codex, just looking at Wayland Games, had 85. The codex is cheaper at £25 as opposed to, you know, the 30, but you know, it does have less data sheets, and I think it has less pages as well. Only by a little though. The old codex has 208 pages and the new one has 196. So you are losing out on 12 pages, but you're also losing out on 9 data sheets. And I think the 9 pages of data sheets actually is more of a loss, really. But I can sort of already imagine where those 9 data sheets have disappeared to. Clearly Tigurius won't be in the main codex. Possibly not Marnius, possibly not Rabute Gilliman, and maybe a few other characters. But then we do get a load of other new units too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we get 10. So in a way, we've sort of lost 19, because there's 10 new ones. So there's 19 data sheets lost in this new codex. I thought I'd just explain that and break that down. That might help you a little bit. If we look at the other articles, there was 2 newish paperbacks and an audio book, and you choose them. There's a Regimental Standard, the Rubicon Primaris for Guardsmen, Armies of Legend, Space Marine Preview, Scions of Gilliman. It just goes through like a little video, who are the Ultramarines, and then there's a Nice picture there of some new models. So you've got the Repulsor Executioner, you've got Redemptor Dreadnoughts, you've got the Invictus Warsuit and some Vanguard Marines as well, and the new transport, the Impulsor. And then there's a little look at the Dark Angels reinforcements, Pride of the Lion, where there's this awesome looking Contemptor Dreadnought and this incredible looking Praetor. I mean, I don't even collect Dark Angels, but I think that is a stunning model. And if I collected Dark Angels, I'd love to get that. So that's available on Forge World, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. Horus Heresy, Tale of Four Warlords. So you've got a look at some Blood Angels, Custodes, Scoria, gone for a different look for Mechanicum, and then Night Lords as well. Fantastic looking little armies. I love it when they do articles like that. And then there's Space Marines preview, Sons of the Great Khan as well. So they've done a preview of Ultramarines and now White Scars and all their doctrines, and then there's Khosrow Khan with his sort of data sheet in a way, with the weapon Moonfang. And that's all the news and previews from Games Workshop. Let's jump on over to Forge World. Okay, so here we are on Forge World's website, and if we click on new, you've got the advert for the Dark Angels there, and we click on pre-orders. It is just these two Dark Angels models. Now, instantly you're looking, oh, it's a single character, it's £26. Oh, well, that's £1 more than Tigurius from Games Workshop. Uncomparable. I've got hundreds of Forge World miniatures and thousands of Games Workshop miniatures. You just can't compare them, I'm afraid, in terms of detail and 3D detail and just quality. Games Workshop miniatures have improved a lot, mainly due to the move over to more computer-aided design and the technology surrounding making molds and putting more intricate pieces on their actual sprues. However, Forge World's on another league. £26. I'm not justifying it, but all of the Praetors in the Terminator armour are £26. They've always been about that price. You know, you get now and again you get some models like Ixion Hale, which were like £38 or so. You know, which is a lot, but they do have quite a nice scenic base. But yeah, Praetors, we've come to see that they are just that price when they release, and this is a Dark Angel Praetor in Terminator armour with an extra head as well. There you go, there's all the detail. I love the sword, there's a lot of detail on the sword there and on the armour. I love this extra piece on the helmet. And that Volkite pistol looks incredible. I love like this little bit of it. Can you see that? The little plug bit. Yeah, that is a cool looking model. With the swishy cape as well. I'm really tempted to get it. Really am. Because I think it's fantastic. So yeah, you can have him with this head. Which actually doesn't look too bad. But they don't show it painted. The painted head. Anyway, that's £26. And again, Contemptor Dreadnoughts are £38 for these sort of chapter specific ones. You need to buy the separate weapons as well. If we just have a little look. Yeah, look, as you can see, they're all £38. Look, Contemptor, Las Cannon, £11 for that. The Assault Cannon is £11. So you're going to need to buy two weapons which are £11 each. That's £22. So that's going to be 50. That's £60 there for Contemptor Dreadnought. And you may be thinking, yeah, but I can get a Contemptor for what, £35? You know, the plastic one. I don't know whether you actually can now. If we just type in Contemptor, you can, £35. The Venerable one and the normal one are both exactly the same, by the way. But £35. Believe me, I have many of these models, and the Forge World one, even though it's £25 more compared to this, it's far superior. This plastic one is just that. It's just one sprue for £35. You can't pose it at all, other than maybe the arms a little bit. But the Forge World one, it's all multi-pose. You can change the legs, the ankles, the shoulders, the head, everything, you name it. You can just pose it whichever way you want. And sometimes that sort of freedom for creativity comes at a price, and that's why it is sort of £25 more. But I would happily pay that if you want a very decent looking Contemptor Dreadnought. I think the weapon loadout as well that they've chosen to advertise this model is incredible too. It also mirrors that Praetor that we've just seen. So big fan of both those models, and if I had a Dark Angels army, I would jump at the chance of owning them because they look incredible. Let's go on over to Games Workshop and look at all of these brand new Space Marine pre-orders. Yep, they've got this advert here. You've got Gilliman there with this Codex Space Marines Indomitus edition. The next page has got Warcry, and then Necromunda Time for Justice. So the big advert on here is of this Indomitus edition, and then down here on the left they've got the advert for Marneus Calgar and the new model Tigurius, along with the special edition Codex Ultramarines supplement. And then on the right, mirroring that advert, you've got one for the White Scars with Khosrow Khan. Just here, you've got a couple more adverts of, well, Cal Jericho. This looks really cool, and you get the models as well, but it is £60. It's quite pricey. Well, the limited edition book is £40. I do like the cover. It's very nice. Yeah, it's really awesome actually. And yeah, there's 1,250 available, and you can get the two models as well from Forge World. Pretty good. So if you're into Cal Jericho and Necromunda, that may well be for you. That would make an incredible present for someone too. Let's go back up and we'll click on the new exclusive. I've already done this morning. I wanted to have a little look at what was about. If we go to high to low, and then we look at these full editions, right? So you've got the Indomitus edition here, which is £150. That's a huge amount of money for a limited edition codex. You do get a load of cards, you do get some tokens and things. Personally, I've never been able to justify spending sort of £100 or £150 on a limited edition book. The most I've spent is about £80 on the Horus Heresy books, which aren't limited edition, and obviously those books are hundreds and hundreds of pages. They've got the page keepers, they've got the silver page edge lining, and also the quality of those is just astronomical. They've got the metal corner protectors, or whatever they're called. I can never remember. Anyway, so you've got one for the Sons of Great Khan collection, £200, so you get the £150 special edition book. Then you get the special edition supplement, which I think is 40, and then you get the cards, which I think clearly are 10. So you're not saving anything, which pretty much does suck big time. It's got this extra little icon here, which I'm not sure what that means, but if we click on it, let's have a look. Well, for one, it's no longer available, so that sold out pretty quick. Once again, they didn't create enough, and it's only been an hour. I'm recording this video about 11:30, so they always do this. They never ever make enough of these things. You'd think that they would know, they would learn, but they never do. Anyway, so you've got the Sons of Gilliman, which has the Ultramarines supplement in there as well, the special edition version, and the cards. Then the Indomitus edition as well, just separately for £150. Let's just have a read of what you get. So you get 800 copies worldwide, which is diddly squat. It's hardly any. But without the help of MathsCat, if I just have a little tinkle on the old calculator, and we go 800 times 150, Games Workshop have basically made £120,000 within an hour and a half. They've sold all of those, which is crazy. I really would love to have some insider information of how much these special editions cost them to make. Maybe it's £40, which would be quite a good markup. But what you get here is you get a special artwork, soft touch cover, removable poster, black ribbon bookmark, gilt page edges, 10 metal company coins, 124 data cards, and that's it. Okay, so it's a smaller codex than the previous version with less data sheets and all these coins and things and a poster and this box type thing. It doesn't actually say, but at least it tells you how many pages there are and it tells you how many data sheets. So this is awesome. I definitely promote this kind of data about their products, is this information. And then you've got the Essentials collection, which has just the standard edition codex and the supplement and the cards for both Ultramarines and Space Marines. So they're doing data cards for each chapter as well. So if you want all of the rules and the cards for Ultramarines, it's going to cost you £62.50. It's getting harder and harder to justify this hobby. And then you've got the White Scars Essentials collection, which is again same price, £62.50. You've got Cal Jericho, which is £60. Clearly that's £40 for the limited edition book and the two models. If we click on that, that's still available. Then the Storm Vault, that was available last weekend. You've got the Ultramarines Collector's Edition, £40 here. Bearing in mind the special editions of the normal codexes were £50, so this is £10 less, and there's going to be some things missing because you get 12 data sheets. So clearly it only covers the units that are unique to Ultramarines. It says here as well, just to pre-warn you, that you'll need a copy of Codex Space Marines and the 40k rulebook, so you can easily add an extra, what is it, £25 on top of that. So that'd be £65 if you wanted to get this special edition plus the standard Space Marine Codex. It's 80 pages. 80 pages for £40 is crazy, considering, like I say, the special edition for the other codex must have been about 50 or 50. It might have been 60, because the last codex was quite a thick one at sort of 200 pages. But typically the special editions of codexes are £50. Then you've got the limited edition novel for Cal Jericho, £40. That's standard, that price for them. You've got White Scars collector's edition, and then for some reason they're just I say re-releasing. They're just putting it into the forefront. These very old vehicles. I think it's just because they've changed the box. This is the new kind of box. The Predators, they're £7.50. I remember when they were sort of £25 or 30. They were either 25 or £30. But this model is very old. Look at the amount of gaps in all those sprues and where we've come today. If you look at the the repulsor sprue, but that is pretty expensive now. The other models and things we've seen last weekend, you've got the Space Marines Rhino and Razorback. I always thought that was, well, there were mixed feelings behind putting the Razorback in the Rhino kit. Personally, I didn't like it. I liked it when Rhinos were like £17, under £20 for a Space Marine transport. Now you're looking at almost £30 to carry, 10 Space Marines around. It's a huge amount, and yeah, my personal opinion is I wish that they'd kept those set separately. Yes, I understand from logistics point of view that's 2 boxes instead of the 1 that you can have in your warehouse. But have you seen the model range recently? They've got more products than they ever have, and I would have preferred them to keep those, those models, those units separate. I'm wondering if they're going to keep them separate for Sisters of Battle. If you're just going to have your Rhino, or you're going to have your Executioner, or whatever it is, Exorcist. Probably the Exorcist will be a separate kit. Anyway, so those models, they've just changed the box art. And then you've got the Codex Space Marines itself. which I've already had a look at. 76 data sheets, so it's 9 data sheets less than the previous one, and it's also less pages, but to reflect that, it's less money. I would like to know sort of what units are missing, whether it is just Space Marines, and then you've got no rules for Marneus in there, no rules for Gilliman. I don't think you will have those rules in there, which kind of sucks for people like me who have bought those models already and they don't have an Ultramarines army, but they still want to have access to those rules. I think they've sort of kind of pushed people out that have bought those models, and unfortunately what that will do in future is any sort of chapter specific models that Games Workshop release that people that don't collect those armies want to buy, they just won't buy because they won't have access to the rules other than in the supplement and possibly in the model box itself. They might not have those rules in there, but we'll see if they go the whole hog and just have the rules in the supplements. Anyway, you've got Kasoro Khan, £25. That's quite straightforward for a Primaris HQ or even a character. I really like the model. Pretty cool. Definitely captures a lot of white scars, obviously, except for the fact that he's not on a bike, a jet bike or anything. Yeah, pretty cool. Quite a light colour scheme. And then Tigurius. Yeah, that's quite straightforward. £25 for him. He's on a big sort of scenic base too, a bit like Khan. Yeah, definitely a nice upgrade for Ultramarines players to have this awesome Psyker. It doesn't say here that you get the data sheet in there, which sucks, but I think you do. We'll see, won't we? Anyway, yeah, Kasoro Khan, he does have this sort of scenic base, but it doesn't show his sprue. It's really odd, but it shows Tigurius. Anyway, moving down, you've got the digital editions of the codex and things. You've got the dice, which are £20 now. Don't know if that's changed recently, but you've got 20 dice. So £1 each per dice. That's quite a lot now. Then you've got Knights of Macragge hardback book by Nick Kine. You've got the supplements, digital editions. The supplements themselves are £17.50. At the end of the day, what's that? Sort of £7.50 less than a full codex for sort of a 80-page book. I mean, that's the price I was expecting the Chaos Knights codex to be. Under £100, under 100 pages. Sorry, I think that these codexes should be £17.50, and they're hardback too. Then you've got repackaging of the Space Marine Scouts, which have been made better because of the new assault rules. Look, that's new, but they are showing their age big time now. Uriel Ventress Chronicles, Volume 2 by Graham McNeil. You've got the White Scars, Primaris upgrades and transfers. So if you collect White Scars, that's a must. And that's about it. Oh yeah, and then you've got August White Dwarf. So there you go. That's all the pre-orders and new releases from Games Workshop, and of course, Forge World and all the news and things. What do you guys think of Space Marines and sort of the timing that they've done this, when Sisters are literally just around the corner, I'm guessing? I think that they could have held out for this, or that they could have done this earlier in the year. This is the second 8th edition codex for the poster child, the poster boys of Warhammer 40,000. Yeah, we've got to that stage where we're in this bubble of Games Workshop profits and pricing and things, and it will burst at some point. You'll see a lot of this kind of risky business sort of strategies from now on, because they know it will happen. It will burst. This can't carry on. You can't release 2 codexes within one edition. There will be a point where it just doesn't work. However, we've just gone on here now and they've sold 800 of them. They've sold 800 of these special edition codexes within an hour. So as long as everyone keeps buying these things, then they're going to keep doing that, keep raising the prices and so on. What do you guys think of this release? And if you've looked at the new models that are coming out, or are you saving all of your cash sisters. Please do put all your comments and things down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.